Before we go deeper into today's topic, let me ask you something softly. Have you ever felt like your emotions were too loud for the world, like you had to hold them in just to get through the day, or sat in silence and asked yourself, "What's wrong with me?" If that sounds familiar, I want you to know this. You are not broken. You are not weak. You were simply never given a safe space to feel. That's why we created this channel, High Day Psych. It's not just a space for information. It's a space for reflection, healing, and connection. If anything in this video already speaks to you, even just a little, please like this video and subscribe to our channel, not for the numbers, but because your one click might help this reach someone else who also feels alone with their emotions. Together, we are breaking emotional silence, one honest video at a time, so take a breath, you're not alone here. We're so glad you're with us. Let's take a moment to be honest. In many families, emotions aren't seen as something to understand. They're seen as something to avoid or even erase. You might have grown up hearing things like, "Stop crying, you're too sensitive, be strong." Don't make things complicated, and over time you started to believe them. You learned to say, "I'm fine," even when your chest felt tight, even when your voice wanted to crack. You stayed quiet not because you didn't feel, but because you were taught that feeling is too much. In cultures shaped by war, poverty, or survival, emotional expression wasn't a priority. Safety meant staying silent, and connection, well, connection had to come second to survival. That's not your fault, and it doesn't make you weak. It means your emotional habits were shaped by something older than you, something passed down, generation by generation, in households that had no space for softness, but now you're here. You're starting to notice, and that means everything. Emotional suppression is not who I am. It is what I learned to survive. I used to believe something was wrong with me, that I was too emotional, that I cried too easily, that I felt too deeply. But over time, I started asking myself a simple question. Where did this come from? The answer was not just inside me. It was in my family, in my culture, in my history. My parents did not talk about emotions. Not because they were unkind, but because they were raised in survival. They did not have the tools, so they could not give me what they never received. When I cried, they told me to stop. When I was scared, they told me to be strong. They loved me, but they were also afraid of feelings they had no idea how to hold. So I learned. I learned to smile when I was hurting, to stay quiet when I felt overwhelmed, to say I'm fine, even when I was not. Later, I discovered something important. My body was not broken. It was protecting me. This is called the freeze response. It happens when emotions feel unsafe. The nervous system shuts down to help you survive. I was not numb because I was cold. I was numb because my body thought it was the only way to stay safe. And here is what changed everything. I realized that these patterns did not start with me. They were passed down, silently. Unintentionally, but powerfully. When I saw that, I stopped blaming myself. I stopped calling it weakness, and I started calling it what it really is, a strategy, a learned survival skill. Since then, I have tried something new. I have tried to be honest with myself, not to fix everything at once, but to understand, to stay present, to feel even just a little, because I believe now that emotional silence may have helped me survive. But it is not the way I want to keep living. You need to feel your failings, but no one ever told me how. So I kept pretending I was okay, kept distracting myself, kept moving, until eventually I realized I wasn't moving forward. I was just running from myself. Healing sounded like something big, like something only strong people could do. But the truth is, healing starts small, gentle, and quiet. It starts with tiny emotional habits, ones I practice every single day, not because I've mastered them, but because I'm still learning how to stay with myself. Here are 3 that changed everything for me. Habit 1, I name my feelings out loud. Once a day, I stop what I'm doing. I put my phone down. I take a breath. And I ask myself, what am I feeling right now? It sounds simple, but when I first started doing it, it felt terrifying. Sometimes I didn't know the answer. Sometimes I could only say, I feel nothing, or I feel overwhelmed and I don't know why. But that was enough. Just saying it helped, because when I name my feelings, I bring them out of the shadows and into the light. Naming what I feel gives it form. It gives me something to work with, to breathe with, to sit beside, even if it's sadness, even if it's anger, even if it's emptiness. At least now I'm not ignoring it, I'm seeing it, and by seeing it, I'm seeing myself. Habit 2, I check in with my body before I listen to my mind, before I think. Before I explain, before I analyze, I listen, I ask, what's going on in my body right now? Because my body always knows first. Tension in my shoulders, clenched jaw, a strange pit in my stomach. That's not random. That's emotional data. There are days when my thoughts feel calm, but my body is clearly holding something when that happens. I don't try to figure it out right away. I just notice it and breathe into it. Sometimes I'll gently place my hand over that spot, as if to say, I'm here, I hear you. I'm not running this time. That physical check-in helps me stay grounded. It's like anchoring myself in reality, instead of floating away in numbing or panic or overthinking. Habit 3, I give myself permission. Every day, I say it like a mantra. I'm allowed to feel this. I'm allowed to be messy. I'm allowed to not be okay. There were years where I denied myself this right. I told myself to get over it, to be strong, to keep it together. But now I know better. Now I say to myself, my feelings are not a problem. They are a message. They are trying to help me understand what I need. Giving myself permission changed everything. It softened my inner voice. It gave me space to grow. And most of all, it helped me stop apologizing for being human. These 3 habits may sound small, but they are how I built emotional safety for the first time, not by forcing healing, but by allowing honesty. I still practice them every day, especially on the hard ones, because I've learned that staying present with my emotions doesn't break me, it frees me, and I hope it can free you too. I used to think emotional suppression made me weak. Now I know it helped me survive. But survival is not the only way to live. If you're still here, thank you. Thank you for taking this time, not for me, but for yourself. Because I know how easy it is to keep moving, to avoid, to shut down, to stay numb. But the fact that you paused, reflected, and made it all the way to this point, that means something. It means you're ready, not to be perfect. Not to fix everything, but to finally be present with yourself. That's what I've been learning too. That healing isn't about controlling every emotion. It's about building a relationship with them, one breath at a time. There's something else I want you to remember. Emotional suppression isn't weakness, it's survival. And for a long time, it probably protected you. But now you get to choose something different. You get to choose softness. You get to choose awareness. You get to choose connection, not because you owe anyone anything, but because you matter. Your feelings matter, your story matters, and the world is better when you show up fully as yourself. So if this message resonated with you, even just one line, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, High Day Psych. That one click might help this message reach someone else who has spent years hiding their emotions, someone who thought they were alone, until they heard something that finally made them feel seen. I'm here for that. I'm here for you, and I'll keep showing up so we can keep growing together. Thank you for being here. Truly, take care of your inner world. It's the one place that will always belong to you.